I'll explain to you the importance of retorquing aluminum wheels, and really any wheels in general, although it's more important on aluminum rims. And basically what that is you torque the wheels to 80 foot-pounds, and you drive it around for 10 minutes, and then you come back and retorque them to 80 foot-pounds, because in that period of time, the wheel can seat, and with heat expansion, the lug nuts can move around, and you always want to retorque them. We were hearing a rotational sound that sounded kind of like a warped rotor. Whenever you go around, it's a sh sh. And it was a little bit louder than normal, and I kind of could feel it in the steering wheel as well. So I wanted to double check things around here, and for sure it's not a warped rotor. This whole wheel is pretty loose, and the fact you can move it around is a bad sign. The lug nuts are under this cover here, and you can clearly see how this whole thing is shaking. If I grab the top of the wheel, you can really see how much it moves. It's really important whenever you put your wheel back on, torque your lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds or whatever your spec is, test drive it, and then torque them again. It might be a little bit of a hassle because you might need to pull the hub back off and retighten them. But in reality, it's really easy, and it can save you a lot of time, work, or a lot of inconvenience in the future. Torque wrenches read very similar to something like a micrometer, where you have different lines marked out. So we have 80 foot-pounds, and there's a line that connects right there at the bottom. So we'll bring this up real close to that line, and then you have different numbers around the collar here. And when that's 0, we're right at 80 foot-pounds. If I bring this up one more, we're right at the bottom line of 80, and we're at 0. If I brought it to 2, now we're at 82, 84, and so on. So I'm going to bring this back down to 80, right at 0. So we'll torque these down. Always tighten the lug nuts in a star pattern so it seats evenly. In fact, I like to just leave these hubs off until after the test drive, and then come back, retorque all the wheels, then I put them back on. And now whenever you're driving, this is a whole lot smoother and you don't feel that rotational force. And it's really important to retorque those lug nuts, because I've seen it happen right now. Whenever those wheels get loose, that can end pretty badly. Now you might say that you already torqued the bolts, why would I need to torque them a second time after only 10 minutes of driving? And once you start doing it, you'll actually start to notice that whenever you torque the bolts, they move a little bit more. And it doesn't seem like that's a lot, but if you drive like that for maybe another 10 days, they could loosen up a little bit more. Normally the cases aren't quite as strong as this, where the lug nuts are that loose, but if you don't retorque them, well, they could end up getting that bad. When I retorque these, I'll tell you if I feel them move a little bit more before they click. That was good. Nice and tight. That was good. That one was tight. Nice and tight. Those were all good. In this case, all of these were still nice and tight, but really for the amount of time that it takes to double check that the lug nuts are still tight after a test drive, it's not really that much of extra effort. Now, especially on aluminum rims, but really, it's not that bad of an idea on steel wheels as well, just to double check and make sure, since they're so important. And of course, with your torque wrench, never leave it torqued up. That'll start messing with the spring, so take it back down to its lowest position, and in this case, that is 10 foot-pounds. And that's the reason why retorquing wheels, especially aluminum wheels, is really important.